Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the channel again. This is your man Trey, aka Yashai. We over here at First Tabernacle Fellowship in Sacramento, California. And today I have the subject for you guys. We're going to go through a couple Psalms real quick. And I want you to pay attention to the mindset of the wicked. And if you don't know, here at First Tabernacle Fellowship, we teach you the importance of the Most High's covenant, which he calls it, and it's not in the Old Testament. Because we have to pay attention to the mindset of the wicked, because you have to ask yourself, are you really safe? Is your family safe? Because there are people or beings that have a mindset that is way different than some of us average people, especially us Most High Yah-fearing people. So we're going to go over some texts that go through that, and we can all basically understand that there is good in there, that there's good and there's evil in this world. So when you're really reading these scriptures, I want you to keep this in mind, that there's good and there's evil in our midst. So it's almost like we're in like a war ground. And we're going to bring up some texts where we clarify and go through it. But first, if you have your books and your scriptures, please pull them up with me. We're going to start off and we're going to be in Psalms chapter 10. Okay? Psalm chapter 10, it starts off and it says, "Why, Yahweh, do you stand at a distance? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble? The wicked in their arrogance hunt down the poor." See, pay attention to the mindset of the wicked. Who get caught in the schemes they think of. Okay. That's it. Where you at? The schemes they think of. For the wicked boast about his lust. He blesses greed and despises Yah. Now that is very key right there. So we as righteous people, guess what? We need to pay attention to the greed or the selfishness that we have in us. Because as we can see right here, he says what? He's talking about the wicked, and he says that he does what? For the wicked boasts about his lust. So he's very lustful. Be careful of that. And he blesses greed and despises the Most High. So he will bless you with yada, 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 long as you despise Yah, which is the mindset that we need to be careful of. Now let me tell you and let me show y'all the difference of when the Most High blesses a person. Let's go right here to Proverbs 10 and 22, and we're going to see what it says. It says, "The blessings of Yah is what makes people rich, and Yah does not mix sorrow with it." Okay? So that's a very key understanding, because if you're looking at these and thinking they're the same, they're definitely not, because Yah doesn't mix sorrow with his blessings. But guess what? This one right here, he says he blesses with greed and despises Yah. Well, guess what? That is not going to go good for these individuals that function in that mindset. And matter of fact, while we're there, can we also bring up the verse in Samuel for me? Because we're going to see how important it is right here. We're in Samuel, and it says right here, "Does Yahweh take much pleasure in burnt offerings and sacrifices, as in obeying what Yah says? Surely obeying is better than sacrifices, and heeding order than the fat of rams." Because guess what? You need to have a right spirit before you come and bring an animal as a sacrifice. Your spirit needs to be right first. And this is a key part right here that I want to read y'all. "For rebellion is like the sin of sorcery, stubbornness like the crime of idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of Yahweh, he too has rejected you as king." And this is when he was talking to Shaul. But again, we can see already from starting off in Psalms 10, I want to show y'all the differences of the blessings and know that when Most High bless you, he ain't going to mix no sorrow with it. So you might want that blessing. But let's keep going and let's keep reading in Psalms 10. It says, for the wicked boast about his lust, he blesses greed and despises Yah. Every scheme of the wicked in his arrogance says, there is no Yah, so it won't be held against me. His ways prosper all the time. Your judgments are way up there, so he takes no notice, as in Yah is he's having things operate for a reason, so he feels like he's getting away with it, but he's not. His adversaries, he scuffs at them all. In his heart, he thinks, I will never be shaken. I won't meet trouble, not now or ever. His mouth is full of curses, deceit, oppression. Under his tongue, mischief and injustice. Now, do you really want to get some blessings of greed from somebody like this? I hope not. He waits near settlements in ambush and kills an innocent man in secret. I want to say that again. And kills an innocent man in secret. And that's why I said, are you protected? Are your family protected? Because the Most High's Torah is what keeps the safetyness around us. And if you are lacking that and you don't seek that, then you can fall into these traps. And you won't even have to do nothing. He kills an innocent man in secret. His eyes are on the hunt for the helpless. Sick. Lurking, unseen like a lion in his lair. He lies in wait to pounce on the poor, then seizes the poor and drags them off in his net. Yes, he stoops, crouches down low, and the helpless wrench falls into his clutches. He says in his heart, Yah forgets, hides his face. He will never see me. He will never see. Arise, Yahweh Shabbat, raise your hand. Don't forget the humble. Why does the wicked despise Yah and say in his heart, it won't be held against me? You have seen, for you look at mischief and grief, so that you can take the matter in the hand. The helpless commits himself to Yah. You help the fatherless. Break the arm of the wicked. As for evil man, search out his wickedness until there is none left. Yahweh is king forever and ever. Who is king forever and ever? Funny, I didn't see the name JC. And you can't say that they're one because there is no Trinity in Torah. Deuteronomy 6:4, I, Yah, am one. And Yah never said that he was a man, and Yah never said that I'm going to be a man. So this is Yah speaking alone. Yah is king forever and ever. The nations have vanished from his land. Yahweh, you have heard what the humble want. You encourage them and listen to them to give justice to the fatherless and oppressed, so that no one on earth will strike terror again. Let's keep going into Psalms 11. For the leader by David, which is David, and Yahweh I find refuge. So how can you say to me, flee like a bird to the mountains? See how the wicked are drawing their bows and setting their arrows on strings to shoot from the shadow at honest men. This is the mindset of the wicked. They want to go after the poor, the helpless, and honest men. So some of y'all thinking that you are just good people and minding your business, that nothing's going to happen to you. You need to get underneath the protection of Yah's covenant as best as you can, so that way when situations come up like this, you can be protected from it. If the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? You be as righteous as you know how. Yah in his set-apart temple. Yah, his throne is in heaven. Yah I see and test humankind. So he tests humankind. He's not a human. Yahweh tests the righteous, but hates the wicked and the lovers of violence. Guess what the wicked are going to get? He will rain hot coal down on the wicked. Fire, sulfur, and scorching winds will be what they get to drink. For Yahweh is righteous. He loves righteousness. The upright will see Yah's face. Beautiful, beautiful. Now let's finish this off, y'all, and we're going to go to Psalms 140. Psalms 140. Okay, bring it up in my book, too. I like to have them both. It says, for the leader, a Psalms of David. Rescue me, Yah, from evil people. Protect me from violent people. See, that's what he's talking about. He's asking Yah for this protection because he knows the mind of the wicked, and we've been reading how they operate. They plan evil things in their heart. They continually stir up bitter strife. They have made their tongues as sharp as snakes, vipers' venom is under their lips. Keep me, Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked. Protect me from violent people who are trying to trip me up. The arrogant hide snares for me. They spread nets by the side of the road, hoping to trap me there. I said, Yahweh, you are my Elohim. Listen, Yahweh, to my plea for mercy. Yahweh Shava'ot, my saving strength, my helmet shielding my head in battle. Notice it said Yahweh is. Again, it didn't say nobody else now, did it? Sure didn't. Yah, don't grant the wicked their wishes. Make their plots fail so they won't grow proud. May the heads of those who surround me be engulfed in the evil they spoke of themselves. May burning coals rain down on them. May they be flung into the fire, flung into deep pits, never to rise again. Let slanderers find no place in the land. Hey, y'all, does this sound like turning the other cheek? This don't sound like no turning the other cheek talk to me. Y'all tell me if I'm tripping. Let slanderers find no place in the land. Let the violent and evil be hunted relentlessly. I know that Yahweh gives justice to the poor and maintains the rights of the needy. The righteous will surely give thanks to your name. The upright will live in your presence. And I just want to read this last part. If we go into Job chapter 7, 1 and 2. It says right here, it says, human life on earth is like serving in the army. Yes, we drudge through our days like a hired worker, like a slave longing for shade, like a worker thinking only of his wages. So this is what I was going back on what I was telling y'all, that there is good and there is evil in this world, and that we are basically in a battleground. It just said that right here when we went to the top. When you go up to verse 1, what does it say? It says that human life on earth is like serving in an army, because right now we have good and we have evil. So my people, please keep the Most High's covenant, everlasting covenant. It's not an Old Testament. As best as you can. So guess what? You can get this salvation and you can get this covering and you can get this protection when these evil men and entities that have a mind that you might not even have nowhere to think of come, and they have a trap or a net that is after you and your family and your loved ones. I hope you love the message that I shared with you, which is basically not my message, it is the message of Yah. And I pray that my people, that you all worship the Most High only and can keep his ways as best as we can. Follow my channel, Yahweh Heals 11. Also, please follow the congregation's channel, which is Yahweh's Exile Empire on YouTube. I thank you so much, and I hope you got something from these verses. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comment. Thank you very much. Shalom and love.